there, shall I?
Yes, please.
Just watch that drop, Kevin.
Hello.
Ground control to Major Tom.
There was an early start to get a tyre repaired in Taupō. I found the Land-Rover on a bit of a lean yesterday morning, but with a late finish last night I was not able to get it fixed, so I had to skip the driver briefing and head straight into town. This morning we're heading south on the eastern side of Lake Taupō to drive around National Park. I contacted the trip leader Cam Raupi and arranged for Jen to ride with Brett Whyte, so I could meet the convoy just before Turangi.
Jen's just going to run forward and get in the car with her husband. Why not?
I'll get our lunch and stuff.
Roger that, fair enough.
Yeah, at lunchtime. Yep.
Passing, car coming through, passing.
Jen is aboard with Kevin, so we're all good to go.
On our way, thank you. At the end of the road, we'll be turning right.
No, apparently Brett or Jackie said.
So once you get to the end of that road, we'll take a left.
She said, "Oh, hello, I'm Ange." And I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Jen."
Yeah, no, that's not my point. Just saying, please try and keep up. Yeah, look, Cam, the Land-Rovers are doing their best, mate. They're doing their best. That little Landy with the two headlights that are real close together, that thing seems to keep up no worries at all. Unfortunately, suffered a big slip in the last test. No definite plan yet.
Permanently now.
Another story from back in the 80s is that somebody jumped off this bridge committing suicide and landed in trees down the bottom and walked back up.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we're going to stop in about 5 minutes, Darren. Is that too long to wait? When we get there, we'll stop and we might as well have a quick smoker break. I thought you had mountains in the South Island.
Yeah, that's the problem with having a nice big fat cup of coffee before leaving home and then driving for 2.5 hours. It was definitely time for a comfort stop and maybe a quick cup of tea. This area is another old forestry block. They were selectively logged back in the 1970s, with the base being a clawing black swampy mass with sudden sinkholes and washouts.
He did. Oh,
I guess if people want to take that beeline they can, but I think it looks horrible. I remember that the last time I was here, but like I say, that would have been probably 2 years ago at least. But not that bad.
It's quite something, isn't it?
We followed the road into a gorge to cross a deep ravine and continue on a reasonably well-formed road through dense bush. The road was probably an old forestry track, upgraded for the power pylons, located on the ridge high above our turnaround point.
I'm just waiting for Rosie, mate. She's giving one of the others a call.
we're good to go, Rosie.
this would be a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. What's a tyre shop over what you got there?
I've lost the blue cruiser behind me. I'm just waiting for Prado and I'm on my way now. Hey Darren, this is probably the end of the track for today. We'll go for a bit of a walk up the hill and you guys can have a look. But yeah, she's pretty greasy in the wet. It gets borderline dangerous. Maybe just try and park in this area. I can get up here a little way, so I'm out of the way. Just try and squeeze as many vehicles in as we can. Turn around first if that's going to help.
He seems to be not that I can talk.
Video of the front.
That's what the front of
That's
Kevin's
what
truck looks like. For those who are wanting to know.
Before us stood a challenge of a white clay track, where Cam elected not to continue due to foreknowledge of a previous occasion where he was geotechnically embarrassed when the nose of his Nissan slid off the side of the track, necessitating a prolonged recovery, so probably not a good idea for our large convoy.
A truckload that go back. But yeah, Chris made the comment about he goes, he's really good, isn't he? In what he does.
There, shall I?
Yes, please.
Oh, it's just a little cliff down to the river. This looks a little lumpy ahead.
Just watch that drop, Kevin.
Hello.
Yep. Can't do much about it. It is quite the something. Right, let's see what we can do with the D4. Down you go. Let's sit over.
You right back there, Brett?
I am indeed. Oh, look, there's a nice way round. Too late. dash plate. Oh, you want to catch up. And here we all are then. Just dry out these brakes.
Yeah, lots of people in some space. They've only ever.
If you turn off right there, you come out Mangaparu, which is the bridge to nowhere.
Our lunch stop for today was at Wairakei, with a substantial order placed at the chocolate eclair shop. These puppies were enormous and not for the faint-hearted. We headed south on State Highway 49, where Brett had an issue with the airbag suspension in his D4, which let him down, literally. Fortunately, Brett had come prepared, with a bypass pressure system installed in the Land Rover that allowed the suspension to be manually pumped up, using his onboard compressor. At Wairakei, we turned north up State Highway 1, before turning onto the Tukino road for the climb up the surface of the moon on the southern slopes of Mount Ruapehu to the ski village.
That's all those ranges over there to the right. We went all the way up the side here. Expect the fence.
I was just pointing out to my wife Jen where we went for the end of the Defender run back in 2016, when I attended a Land Rover only weekend driving the military training tracks around Waiuru in my Series 1 Land Rover. Brett had elected not to head up the mountainside in case the suspension patch-up system failed. The issue turned out to be a direct hit on one of the level sensors, which disconnected the actuator from the sensor. 2 minutes on a hoist back in Taupō and the problem was sorted, ready for the next day's drive.
Remember, you're not supposed to go off the road here. Yep, that's correct. There's actually dock signs if you look hard enough that say don't leave the main road.
I don't know about having to look hard. The moment you turn off the main road, you feel, under observation. The Tukino road is 13 kilometres long and sits in the middle of the World Heritage Tongariro National Park. To the south of the road is a military training area, but the road itself is physically inside the national park. Driving anywhere off the designated Tukino road and you face significant fines or even jail time from either the military or the Department of Conservation, so make sure you stay on the road and tread lightly.
Just one. That was just one.
No, it's a proper little village. It's sort of like very
All those trail rides and 4x4 runs and side-by-side, the horses and all of that, they were raising money for the veterans, and I think the trail bikes on their own raised well over $100,000 a year just on the trail rides we used to do in here with up to 2,000 riders at a time at $40 a head. And we stayed in the military camp and food and all that, showers. It's really cool, but it's just like a derelict village in there now. There's hardly a Jews. So it was the army itself that ran all those adventure rides and 4x4 trips in here, and it's a shame they've shut it down because the army boys loved it and we loved it.
I've got a photograph of the Series 1 park next to that sign.
This is only the second time I've ever driven up the Tukino road. The last time I was here was over 10 years ago, in February 2014, with another bunch of Series 1 Land Rovers.
It's got 3 defenders.
The rough weather coming into the area created an angry and desolate background for some great Land Rover photos. Tukino is located on the southern side of Mount Ruapehu, so cops the full blast of the freezing Arctic winds during winter, hence the lack of tree cover on this side of the mountain. Remembering this is May, and this place still looks like the surface of the moon with only tiny patches of snow to be seen high on the ridgetops above. Looks like another poor season ahead for the North Island ski fields.
Ask you about your channel, or did he say he's quite so much?
Oh yeah. We got the gear control on it.
The Tukino village has its own bulldozer to keep the road open for adventurous skiers.
Lifetime, so I said just invest the camera money into a better cell phone.
Better cell phone.
Better cell phone, yeah.
How can those big flat creek beds even flow water? You'd think that the water would just drain into the soil, but we did run a club trip down here one day and it was pouring down with rain and they sure do flow alright.
Didn't
Back
look.
across again.
Hannah?
Back across that same.
Just gonna unlock my hubs here and we'll head for Turangi. No worries, thanks guys, good to meet you. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
What time do we have to meet tomorrow?
The night had really closed in by the time we got back to Turangi, so we headed back to the base for a hot shower and a cold beer. Tomorrow the Taupō Club have designed a self-drive mystery tour for us, where we get to see a lake, a wharf, a lake, make someone dizzy on a bridge, and take a whole bunch of selfies that no one wants to look at.
And that's enough.